The more you get to know the agents, and if they start to trust you, they will actually open up and start telling you about properties that aren't even on databases. And I guess that's where the gold is. You know, they might say, look, I've done an appraisal and I've got something coming up. Let me see if I can get you in there. Yeah. And there might only be a handful of people at any moment that they've got top of mind that they'll do that with. You want to be one of those. Property transactions can be among the most significant financial decisions of your life.
We are here to guide you, debunk the myths and misconceptions that cloud the industry, help you move forward confidently through your real estate journey, and give you a behind-the-curtain look into the world of real estate.
We're Michelle Tucker and Linda Johnson from Spring Buyers Agency and Spring Property Management.
And this is the Unreal Estate Podcast.
Welcome back to Unreal Estate Podcast. Today we've got an interesting topic that we get asked about a lot. We're going to talk about properties beyond realestate.com. So there's a whole world of property selling regularly that you don't see online, and sometimes you see it pop up online sold and think, oh, I didn't see that one. So today we thought we'd share a few tips on what you could do as a buyer if you're out there in the market at the moment and potentially want to access some of those secret properties that you don't see online. So
I think it's important to remember as well that these opportunities, well, what are known largely as off-market opportunities, are come and go in the market. It really depends on market conditions at the time and, you know, what's happening, access to stock, those sorts of things. So at the moment, we're seeing a lot more off-market opportunities because stock's so limited, and agents are finding more creative ways to try and, you know, manufacture opportunities to put forward to the many buyers that are out there circulating in the market at the moment.
Yeah, so we're going to share a few of our tips, and obviously we do a lot of these things plus more. We have relationships that span 20, 30 years. So we already have those trusted relationships. So a lot of this is already in place for us as buyers agents. But for you, if you're out there looking for property and you don't know the agents, it's a different story, and you don't have those set relationships or those trusted relationships. So you need to do things to put yourself, you know, at the front of the line. So probably the first step would be, if you're looking at a variety of suburbs, let's say a handful, jump on realestate.com and put your suburb of choice in, go to the sold properties and have a look who the most active agents are. You will notice a trend. There'll be an agent that's got numerous solds, and you want the solds because you want to know who's actually selling the property. So that will give you a good idea. You might have a hit list of, you know, half a dozen or a dozen agents that you're going to try and, you know, establish those relationships with. I think the key is you don't really need to have relationships with everybody, but just pick the most active ones and try and develop that.
And look, probably as the very first point of contact, and of course it's very challenging if you're geographically challenged, but if you can get in front of them, it's the best way to first meet an agent, because you've got to understand they're extremely busy. They're in and out of appointments, in and out of inspections all week. So to get them on the phone can be quite difficult, and they have thousands of emails as well. So if you can attend an open home, ideally get in front of them, introduce yourself, and then that then paves the way to continue on the communication trail. Once they know who you are, they've met you, and then they can, when you reach out to them then, and ideally by text moving forward, they'll sooner read a text before they'll get to an email.
You're jumping ahead to our next, our next tips. No, it's great. And I think it's really important. Once you put a face to the name, that connection's made. It's not just a voice on the end of the phone. So I think, super important. Even initially, just go to any open homes to try and meet them and get in front of them, and do try and do it regularly so they're seeing you on the regular. Follow that up with a call a few times a week. You don't want to be annoying, but you want to stay top of mind for them. So, and if you can't get them on the phone, or even if you do get them on the phone, follow it up, as you said, with a message. Hi, sorry I couldn't connect. Just a quick reminder, this is what I'm looking for. And maybe pull out 3 or 4 of the really important key factors of what you're looking for: your budget, your suburb, and a basic description. Don't go into a big long list, because the attention span of most sales agents is not that long. They're busy. They just want to cut to the chase. And they might save that on their phone. You know, I know when we were selling agents, I did that often. If someone would say, this is what I'm looking for, I'd have it on my phone rather than lost in a sea of emails, and I could easily refer back to it. Go, who was that person? What was looking for that? They'll get to know you.
And I think it's important to recognise these building these relationships is really a full-time job, hence where buyers agents come in. We do this all day, every day. And as you pointed out earlier, many of these relationships have been formed over many, many years. So I guess to set the expectation, understand that you have to actually put a lot of time and effort into this.
You do.
Because you're dealing with very busy people that are literally racing in and out of appointments all the time. So it's not that they necessarily want to ignore you. It's just they're very time poor. So you kind of need to get their attention in whatever way you can.
So what you're looking for is obviously what's beyond realestate.com. So it goes without saying, get on their databases. I mean, you got to do that. So they do share properties that aren't on realestate.com regularly on their databases. But the more you get to know the agents, and if they start to trust you, they will actually open up and start telling you about properties that aren't even on databases. And I guess that's where the gold is. You know, they might say, look, I've done an appraisal and I've got something coming up. Let me see if I can get you in there. Yeah. And there might only be a handful of people at any moment that they've got top of mind that they'll do that with. You want to be one of those.
Absolutely.
So you want to be respectful. You want to be following up but not annoying. You want to just be top of mind for them if you can. That's probably the best tip, isn't it?
It is, and it may take a bit of time. At first, they may not share opportunities with you. You know, in our case, they do, because it's being a professional to professional relationship. They can share sensitive and confidential information with us. I think it's important to understand they can't share that with the general public for obvious reasons. That information just can't go out to the masses. So it may take a little bit of time for them to build that trust with you, for them to really understand your position. So, don't think it's going to happen in a couple of minutes or a couple of meetings. It could, take weeks or months before you start getting access to that kind of intel.
Yeah. Probably lastly, we would suggest that you keep a record. So allocate some time. This is going to take some time. This is not something you can jump in and out of and do once a month. You're really going to have to allocate a schedule, and you really need to be touching base with these people a few times a week. So you might allocate some time each day out of your work and out of your life, which I know is a big commitment, but you kind of have to, don't you?
Yeah.
And keep a spreadsheet. Keep a spreadsheet of who you're talking to, when you've talked to them. Otherwise, you'll forget. So be organised in your processes. I'm going to talk to this person, and this person. This is when I last messaged. These are the properties that I've come up with. And really try and put a process around it, because it is a big time commitment.
Absolutely. So hopefully that has given some ideas in relation to accessing some off-market gems or, opportunity, I guess, that isn't out there in the general marketplace.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Unreal Estate. If there is someone that you think would benefit from the information that we've shared today, please feel free to share this episode or leave us a comment. We'd really love to hear your feedback. We release a new episode every 2 weeks. So to stay up to date, hit follow or subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.